Alright guys, we are live. A late one tonight. I've had a busy day. I'm absolutely exhausted. Not gonna lie, but I'm here. I'm continuing to do what I do, you know? One more guys. I forgot to put my fan in. I'm too warm now, but I was too cold earlier. Where is that center of my frame? I can never get it right. Right! Mining! Who don't like some mining? Well, a lot of people. Not gonna lie. I wonder who's going to join today. Right, so today I've done a bunch of cleaning. Welcome, how you doing, how's things, how's life, tell me all about it. I've done a bunch of cleaning today, been nice, help from the car obviously. I'm really tired. Nah, not gonna lie. There's a car. How are you doing? Something. How are you doing? Hope you're well. I'm not too bad, you know. I'm not too bad, I'm just a little... I'm just exhausted. I hate that even like menial tasks make me so tired these days. It's not too warm here today, it's like 26 degrees, so it's pretty okay. That's Celsius, of course. In Fahrenheit, I'm pretty sure that'd be pretty cold. I wonder if anyone else is going to join us today. It's 35 degrees, so once again, I'm presuming that is Celsius. Are you saying minus Celsius? I don't know the conversion. No? Yeah, okay. Pretty warm. Not gonna lie to you, that's pretty warm. No wind either. Oh, that's rough. It's raining here. Ugh. What have you been up to lately, something? What have you been doing? And yeah, what have you been up to recently, something? Into the RL making like the hot tub. Nice, nice. But yeah, I've also been busy lately. I don't like being busy, I'm not gonna lie. I like a nice easy life, you know? Jackie, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. How's your day? It's going fine. It's going fine. Can't complain. What about you? How's your day going? But yeah, how's your day going? Mine's going pretty well. Sorry, I'm like listening to the election debate as well over here in the UK, so I'm a little bit not 100% there, you know. You're doing well. That's good to hear. Where you from? There's a call. Where are you from? What time is it for you? It's like a little past 9 PM, me and 9:20. I'm only going to stream for an hour, I reckon. Unless we get a bunch of chapters and then I'll stick around maybe. I'm British. I did just tell you that. Over here in the UK, my friend, got an election coming up in a few weeks. Something like that. So I'm listening to the election debate. Not really. Mostly a RuneScape guy. What about you? What games do you like? Yeah, I'm mostly a RuneScape guy. I have thought about playing other games. I don't know, you know. I like my chill streams with like 2 people chatting. It's pretty nice like that. I'm weird, you know. Like GTA 5 can strike. Then what are you doing on my stream? Not complaining, I like having someone to talk. But these are certainly very different games to what I play, you know. Fun. I've never. No, when I was a kid, I owned an original PlayStation, but I've not owned consoles in a long time. No thank you. Come on, man. Don't do this. We were having a nice chat. Come on. No, I do not want you to share. I am not happy with this. You'll get banned. I'm not looking for advice, I am not looking for ideas, I am not looking for artwork, I am not looking for anything whatsoever. Jackie, in the politest way I can say this, get fucked. Okay? Are you listening? You're clearly not listening to me. So you, my friend, bye. I'm just not in the mood today. Can you all tell? It annoys me because they've got the worst script possible. They're clearly not interacting. They've probably got 10 streams open. They're just copy and pasting into stream after stream. It's ridiculous. Something is still around. I'm slowly losing faith with Kick. I'm not gonna lie, right? Like, Mrs. Bagel Chips, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. We're having a short stream this evening because I'm exhausted. Short stream, good idea for kids. Yeah, I've been cleaning all day with the curler. It's been nice. The house looks great. It's the tidiest it's been in a long time. Not gonna lie, but it's very tiring for me. I agree. How is your day going? How are you doing? Work is busy when you're only 1.5 people. That's a shame. Oh, that's very frustrating. It is, yeah. With all the things. Yeah, I can see how that'd be really frustrating. Have you, like, updated firmware and such? Can you do that? You're allowed to do that? I don't think I'm allowed to. It's something to do with the way our drivers are planning software stuff. Only happens when you interact with the interest. That seems like really silly. So, I don't know. Sorry, guys. I'm listening to this debate. Ugh. God, they sound like children, you know? Like, so many of them are just spitting in the faces of other parties instead of concentrating on what they would do. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Honestly, recently, I've just been kind of like doing okay. You know, I'm not great, but I'm doing okay. I can't think of any advice for you other than not worse than okay, exactly, right? Like, I'm pretty happy with my mental health lately. Ugh, I don't know, guys. You can tell I'm tired. You know, you can tell I'm tired. It's showing. Who else is in chat? Can we get a holler in chat? We got Mrs. Biffle Chips, obviously. The legend that is Mrs. Biffle Chips. Honestly, like, these... Poor drink. There we go. And we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We're playing all you can. So I should be getting another monitor very soon. It's called stream, what kind of... What temperature is it for you, Mrs. Bifflechip? Something was saying it's 35 where she is. I believe she's Canadian as well. $23, yeah, it's like, what, 26 here. Humidex is 28. Humidex confuses me so much. I know it shouldn't. I understand what it means. But I'm just like, you know. Probably because it's such an alien term to me. Probably because it's such an alien term to me. We don't use it here. Exactly, exactly. And I think part of it as well is nobody talks about the feels like temperature. You know, we just say the absolute temperature as is. Which, I mean, I understand why it feels like humidex, whatever other word we like to use, exists. I get it. You're watching though. Well, thank you, Danny. I do appreciate it. Guys, I'm 2 years sober today. I don't have my chip yet. Gripsil, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. Nice. Have a good check. Let me just skip that. Oh, shit. So tired today. Really, body? Do we have to be doing all the yawning? Ripsil, how are you doing today? How are you doing? We got this, guys. Right? We got this. I believe in us. And by us, I mean me. And Grand and you, I'm not too bad. I'm tired. Not gonna lie, I'm absolutely fucked today. I'm getting sick of yawning. I'm thinking about it too much. What have you been up to lately, Ripsil? Anything interesting? So I need to sort out my other monitor soon. I don't know where the hell I'm going to put my tablet. Mainly boring old work of not keeping your mini zoo maintained. What about you? Well, what pets have you got? I have not really been doing very much. Not gonna lie. I lead a very boring life. I mean, I like it like that. Sure, throw it my way. You have 16 tarantulas, 3 ferrets, 3 royal pythons, 2 mantis, and a leopard gecko. You do have a zoo, my friend. See, I'm normal, I just have 2 cats and a dog, you know? I'm not judging, like, you do you know? If you want all the exotic pets and can afford to keep them, go for it. Whatever makes you happy in life. But you know, I'm just a normal guy with 3 pets. And it sounds like a lot, but they're very limited. Oh no, I have friends who have like tarantulas and stuff. I'm aware that the low maintenance pets. I know, I just like pets that you can give commands to and you can shout them and they come to you and stuff, you know? Don't get me wrong, love dogs to bits. Oh yeah, yeah. It's like landlord says no, so I instead have a zoo of exotic animals. Makes sense. I like it. Stick it to the man. There's a car. Where are you from, Ripsy? Where are you from? Southampton. I'm British. I don't really say any more detail than that for obvious reasons. You know what it's like. So, do you play RuneScape? Well, I don't know what I've done with my e-liquid, guys. It's not the end of the world. Danny, welcome, welcome. How you doing? How's things? How's life? Tell me all about it. You had your account for all 15 years, not very active. Yeah, one of my accounts is 16 years old, but it doesn't have a lot of play hours on what my newer accounts do. How is your day going, Danny? No worries. No worries at all. Chinese killed you. For those of you who don't know, Danny had a hangover earlier. He was on the pop and he overdid it a wee bit. Do you console games just RS? I don't own the console. Well, I have an Xbox in the living room, but I don't use it. It's an Xbox One X. It's the last gen, and I don't play it. I don't like controls. No, Xbox One X, last gen. Last gen. My brother gave it to me, and I'm just like, he's got a Series X, and he gave me his One X to have a go with, but I'm not interested. I don't play that much. I mostly just play RuneScape. I know, right? Do you mean original Xbox? There was no Xbox called Xbox One. Unlike PlayStation, there was a PlayStation 1. Although that was actually the third generation of the original PlayStation. Yeah, I know what it means. I'm just being a bit of a dick. I'm just being a little bit of a dick to him. Oh, do you mean? Wait a minute, I'm confused now. Do you mean Xbox One as in the third Xbox? Or Xbox? See my issue. There was an Xbox One, yeah. I'm just an idiot. Because you know Microsoft does whatever Microsoft does. Yeah, it did. It's the third Xbox. I'm tired. Okay, you got the original Xbox One. You, not you got it. Yeah, that's what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the third Xbox. Well, not really the third Xbox. So it's the 360 Slim and the 360S, and there was a lot of 360s. But you know what I mean. Yeah, yeah. It's the way he said old school and used the number one made me think he meant the original. Depends if you count the variation. I know, right? Windows 10 will be the last version of Windows ever, guys. At least that's what Internet Explorer told me. I'm a really fast typist, I'm not gonna lie. Because you got into gaming on more than one thing. Yeah, I'm a terrible influence. I'm a terrible influence. I got another monitor delivered today. I just need to plug it all in and whatnot. So maybe tomorrow you'll see me playing 2 more accounts. Thank you for the sub. You didn't need to sub. You don't need to subscribe here, guys. Subscriptions are not required. I don't stream to make money. I just stream because I've got fuck all else to do. You know? I do appreciate it. A Prime sub, you know? Free money. I will not say no to free money. Yeah, if anybody in chat has Amazon Prime and don't currently have it linked to Twitch, you can get a free sub. I'll take free money, you know? It's not really free because you pay Amazon and all of that. I'm aware. But like a lot of people, I have Amazon Prime. And even if there was not a Twitch sub, I would still have Amazon Prime. Like, Prime shipping is just the smartest thing Amazon has ever done, I'm not gonna lie. But I am humbled and thankful that you chose to use your free sub on me. I do appreciate it, Ripsy, I do appreciate it. You know how it is. Yeah, I've only been back streaming less than a month after I'm taking nearly a year off because of my health. So I'm like trying to rebuild, you know? And then you get Mrs. Biffle Chips, who is a legend! And she's just always here. It's great. It's just frustrating that, you know, I was getting like exclamation point Discord, I think it is. I don't know my own commands. I there we go. Yeah. Guys, I need the bathroom, so I'm gonna be back in just a moment. I'm gonna be back in just a moment. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Bladders, they're always getting in the way, you know? Thank you, thank you. Right, I'm back. Who's still here? Can we get a roll call, as we like to say? Roll. And I didn't win. I didn't win, guys. Ripsy, thank you for hanging out. Much appreciated. So many people have such short attention spans. You run to the bathroom for like a minute and they just leave. They just don't have that constant input that they need. And they just leave, you know? And I get it, I've got ADHD, but come on. Let a guy taste you, man. You're mining to be put. Mining is like the best thing ever. Did you, are you mining in world with me? Did you see me talking to Danny? Yeah, okay. Well, I appreciate you coming along. That's what multiple tabs for. I'll switch something else to the first number. Exactly, right? Well, I'm glad to hear that. I stream most days. I'm not going to say every day. I'm not promising to stream every day, but I stream most days. We've done 23 days in a row at the moment. We might, you know, tomorrow I would probably stream. I'm not going to guarantee it. Completely depends on like my pain and how my mental health is doing and whatnot. I don't want to like be nailing myself to the wall with a promise that I can't keep. Let's get the break. Friday's pub night for you. I don't usually stream this late, I'm not gonna lie to you. I usually stream in the daytime, but my carer was here and we were doing a bunch of cleaning and whatnot, and I just didn't end up streaming before she came. I even do 2 streams some days. There's a call. Getting in when you can, exactly, right? I would love to be able to set a schedule and say to people, I will be live on these days at these times, but that's just not possible for me. So what are you free to play, I'm guessing? Do you have any member account? Do you just play one or multiple like me? You only just started playing again after 2 years? Nice, nice. I was paying for membership on 3 accounts, and I wasn't even playing the game. How stupid is that? I was just unwell and I just couldn't be bothered dealing with cancelling things. So you know. So much has changed, yeah, I agree. Especially because I've been playing for so long. Like when I think about RuneScape logging in on a browser back in, you know, back in school days to now just this. I don't enjoy that through my center of the phone. What? Sure, Jadex, sure. Love it. I'm glad to hear you got your account. I've got to say, I like how the pound sign looks on whichever font restream you. Oh, curly. I like it. It's a car. But I'm glad to hear you got your account. It'd be very annoying if they like tried to charge you that, and then that's just ridiculous. I'm trying. That's like 9 years of membership or something. I should know how much RuneScape membership costs. I paid on 3 accounts. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can imagine so. I can imagine that being very frustrating. Me can go banned for botting 4 years ago. I mean, I got a account banned for botting on a permaban, and I got mine back. I haven't botted. I just said, I just was like, look, I'm a streamer. I play RuneScape on multiple accounts. If I can get this account back, that'd be great. If not, I'll just make another one. I don't care. And they give me my account back. I miss the days when RuneScape would give out decade-long bans and tell you in days how long it was banned for. I wouldn't sell the account. A banned account that's unbanned is monitored very closely. Selling it would be like a bullshit thing to do on the person you're selling to, because it would get banned pretty quickly again. Play multiple accounts. Why limit yourself, my friend? And bearing in mind, if they link that account to your current account, they can ban all accounts linked. And you'll be surprised at how good they can be at finding linked accounts. Part of me is thinking that that's why Jadek's accounts now exist, but I don't know. How until you finish work, this is Battle Chips. Time zones are confused. Or are you finished now? I don't know what the time difference is, like 5-6 hours, something like that, I don't know. Do you know, like, when you see the presidential bunker and they've got multiple clocks set different time zones? I need that for my most prominent chapters. I'm like, yeah, Missy Biffle Chips? Okay, that's what time it is, you know? Do I done what? Yeah, okay. Finish at 15 minutes ago. Ah, okay, okay. So do you finish at 5 then? Am I working that out right? These KD limits, you may be able to put a world clock widgets and consider on your desktop. True. Yes. Alright. Hit 503. I bet you've got the best commute ever. So I am going to do a little bit longer. The stream's going really well. I need to find something new to listen to. Let's click all the things. Okay. Well, what? Okay. Did you just sub the what? Or did you just sub the if you subscribe not with Prime, I think you have to refresh for it to come up. But you can only sub with one type of sub at any given time. No worries, no worries. Or drink. I'm actually feeling pretty okay right now, guys. My tiredness is settled. The night's still young, true. I was feeling really exhausted at the beginning of the stream, but I'm perking up. Got that hype, I know, right? I know, right? What is... So, for those of you who don't know, JoJo Siwa is, I don't even know how to explain. She was like... She's kind of like Taylor Swift. She had an audience of mostly children, and then she's, like, gone over to very adult-type songs and such. And apparently she touched herself on stage while singing. And all I can think about is, if that was a biological man, the conversation would not be, oh, look at this edgy woman, or look at this edgy man. They'd be like, this is disgusting. But because it's a woman, it's okay? Also, a lot of people are saying that she's was not actually singing when she was performing. She was lip syncing, which most singers do lip sync. I know, guys. It's shocking. It's terrible. I know, but most professional singers lip sync whilst performing because they're quite out of breath when they're dancing. You know, and like trying to sing and dance is really difficult. So a lot of professional singers choose not to do that in lip sync. But yeah, she just like, and I would love a man to do this, not because it would go well, but it would just prove my point. I've never even heard of JoJo Siwa before. Never even heard of her before she performed in Pride London. And I'm like, now I just... My issue... Right. Take my headphones off this. My issue with this person individually doing this act on stage isn't what you would think. Right, yes, I've got that little bit of annoyance of if it was a man, they would get absolutely fucked. That's not actually my issue. My issue is this person has an audience that is mostly children. Right? This person has been a family-friendly, like Disney-esque performer for the last, well, almost her whole life. She was a child performer, child dancer, I believe, and then she grew up having me. Even last year, she was being all family friendly, and then suddenly this year, she's decided to have a bad girl face. We will say, right? We will say she's decided to have a bad girl face, and that's fine. I don't have an issue with professionals who want to take their art in a different direction. But if you have an audience that is mostly children, yeah, Miley Cyrus did the exact same thing. If you have an audience that is mostly children, and then you are not going to be performing in a venue that has children in attendance, I don't think you should be doing, such overt and grotesque sexual imagery in front of children. And the thing, so I need to rant about something. Pride in America is ridiculous. Has any of you ever watched like American Pride events online or whatever? I don't know what it's like in Canada. But if you like, there's like people in kink gear and there's like children there, and I'm just like, you know, like Pride in Britain has been rather family friendly for a very long time. My local Pride that I go to is very family friendly. There's none of that, and I'm like, this is not about kink shaming, right? If you want to dress up like a dog and be on all fours wearing leather or whatever, more power to you, right? I believe you have every right to do that in the privacy of your own home. I'm not going to judge. But if you're doing it in the middle of the street and you've got children petting you like a dog, that's a bit weird. Right? Getting other people involved in your kinks is wrong. Full stop. Getting children involved in them is just downright boring. You know? And I was like, I was watching a gay guy on YouTube. Oh, what's this channel name? Cannot remember his channel. I was watching a gay guy on YouTube and he was like roasting, he was saying like Pride should be stopped around the world because of this, and I'm like, Pride is not like this around the world, you know? I don't know anything about Pride in Canada, so I'm not going to comment on that. Pride in Australia is kind of tame, not going to lie. Pride over here is downright family friendly in most, like in the very, very big cities. They're not super family friendly, but they're not like that. You know? Oh, no, definitely. But my argument is if you're a festival celebrating sexuality and you are acting in a way that is traditionally seen as a sexual act, you shouldn't be doing that around children. I'm not saying that this person was specifically being sexual around children. I was saying that this person should not be doing something that could be seen in that way around children. You know? And I'm talking young children. They were like 7 or 8 in the video that I saw. So we're talking children. We're not talking teenagers who already know that these things exist because of the internet. We're talking very young children, right? And in my opinion, and the parents were just there and letting them do it. And I'm like, what? I can understand why Americans are like, we should end Pride. Because the only type of Pride they've ever known is that outrageous. It's like they're trying to cause shock. And I understand why they're doing it. Because Pride in America is such a, you know, rile against the machine and, you know, fuck the system and all of that. I get why they do it, but then there shouldn't be children. Right? Like, so how we do Pride were in my town, there's 2 stages, and there's like a small stage, and there's all family stuff over there, you know, and then there's a main stage. It's still family friendly, but it's you know, the songs are a little more edgy and whatnot. There's no people touching themselves on stage, and like the whole thing is family friendly. But if the parents want the kids to have a more, you know, they want to do colouring in and karaoke, they can go to just around the corner, it's there. And if they want the kids to be, if the kids are a bit older and they want them, you know, to listen to maybe more edgy songs and things, they can go to the main stage. Yeah, I'm not saying it shouldn't exist at Pride. I'm saying if that is the type of Pride that you want, then children shouldn't be there. Right? Pride is a celebration of sexuality, and I don't think that should ever stop. You know? But I think there should be very clear designations of this is a family-friendly event, children are allowed, And this is not a family-friendly event, and children will not be accepted. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, look, this event is not great for kids. You know, like, we're not going to let kids come here because of this reason. Or even if it's just like, you know, there's a cornered off part. You know, if there's a cornered off part and it's like children can't go past this barrier and you can't see through it, that's fine in my opinion. I'm not saying that those types of things shouldn't be at Pride. I'm saying those types of things shouldn't be around children. Right? My honest to God view is, at Pride, anything should be allowed as long as it's legal. Right? But there should be, as you say, clear communication, and there should be clear separation. You know? Like, near where I live, there is... I don't want to say the name of it because it'll, like... There's been a big uproar where I live because a local warehouse was being turned into a dungeon. And I'm sure you know what kind of dungeon I mean. And loads of people are kicking off about it. This warehouse is in the middle of an industrial estate. Right? So there's no kids there. You can't see in it. There's not people like... I think that's a great place to put it. Everybody, like all the conservatives where I live, are kicking off about it, and they're like, we don't want this in our town. And I'm like, but if they're all consenting adults, who are we to tell them they can't do that? You know, you want to go to... No, Danny, no I didn't. If you want to go and do that, more power to you. Go and do it. I think it's great. Theme park dudes have behind. I don't know what you mean by aces. I don't know what you mean by aces. To try it. Yeah. Once again, I want to be very clear in my language here. I am not saying that all pride should always be family asexual. Okay. I'm not saying that all prides. I thought that's what you meant, but I wasn't sure. That all pride should be family friendly. You know, if you want to have a bunch of strippers on a giant float with, you know, phallic shaped flower arrangements, whatever, more power to you, go for it. But there shouldn't be children viewing it. My issue is not with what should or shouldn't be at Pride. My issue is what should or shouldn't be around children. You know, if children are there should be some decent level of, you know, thresholds, rules, and like what is and isn't allowed. If children are not there, if it's a purely adult event, go wild. You know? If it's a purely adult event, if you can guarantee there are no children there, if it's legal, it should be allowed. That's my opinion. If there are children there, then, you know, if a child... Right. This is my benchmark. If a child can go on the internet and see that without once having to click a button that says I'm over 18, without once having to enter credit card details or to prove any age or anything like that, in Britain we have very strict rules about this, I don't know about other countries, then that's fine. But if, you know, if you would need to have a button that says I'm over 18 to view it any other time, then they shouldn't be viewing it in person at Pride. You know, I'm not about, you know, legislation what is allowed at Pride. I'm all about legislating what is allowed around children. You know? Does that make sense? And I want to be clear that Pride can be family friendly and adult only, right? You could have a, you know, I don't know, you could have like lunchtime to 7 PM is family friendly, and then after 7 PM, you know, adult themes are expected, and it's up to parents if the children remain. Or you could have a separate location, but you know, you could have a cornered off part of the event where children are just not allowed to enter. Like, there are lots of ways to separate young people from, you know, overtly sexual things. You know, and I'm not an events planner, but even I think you could just say, you know, children, like in pubs, like in the UK, children are not allowed inside an establishment that serves alcohol after 10 p.m. Right? Because the law states that after 10 p.m., it's fair to accept that the type of conversations and actions that would happen in an establishment with alcohol is not appropriate for children. That is a law in the UK. So if you serve alcohol, you know, to be drank on premises at 10 p.m., children have to leave. You know, it's against the law. You get massive fines for it. You know, so we could do something similar for Pride. You could have a, you know, up to a certain time, children are allowed. After that, you know, you got to take your children away. You could just have a, yeah, it's all family friendly apart from this cornered off part over here. You know, you got to show ID to get in there. You know, could you? But it's easy to do. It just frustrates me because it paints. You know, I am obviously pansexual. I'm non-binary. I identify with the LGBTQIA+ community. Did I get that in the right order this time? Dyslexia is fun. You know, like I obviously, but I hate the fact that when I tell, especially with Americans, because it's more of an American problem than a British one. But when I say, you know, I'm LGBT, people instantly, mostly conservatives go, "Oh, you're one of those people who do that," and I'm like, no, because I don't agree with that around children, right? And I think it puts us all in a bad light, and it's a very easy way for conservatives and such to say, yeah, but we shouldn't allow, you know, trans people or whatever because they do this kind of stuff. And I think it's a very easy scapegoat for people to spread hate. So not only is it harmful to the children, but it's harmful to the community as well. And I know that I'm kind of like going off on one. I'm going to be done with this now. I just think, you know, family friendly is great. Not family friendly is great. Just keep them separated. Anyway, I feel like I just lost all of my viewers on my rant. Ripsy, if you're still around, I'm sorry for ranting. The only thing I disagree with is trans women and girl talk to. Only for the safety of birthborn children. My view on that, Danny, is I don't have a place to say whether that is right or wrong because I'm not a woman. You know, I there's this big thing where like we all want to like agree with our people and whatever. I personally don't see an issue with it, and I will explain that very quickly. I imagine that if a woman's space is anything like a man's space, the women are going to be on high alert and highly vigilant. And I think it would be a very bad place for either a trans woman or a man who is pretending to be a trans woman to attempt a crime of that nature, right? I think if you are a trans woman or a man who is pretending to be a trans woman or an actual woman, I think if you are going to commit that kind of crime, you're going to do it anyway. And my personal belief is there are quote-unquote easier places to do it than in women's spaces. Toilets, a bit easier, but changing rooms, like, once again, I'm not a woman, I'm not speaking for women, that's my opinion. But I think ultimately the question should be answered by the people who use those spaces, which is women. As for the other way around, and the other thing that irritates me, sorry, I'm ranting again, the thing that irritates me is we all talk about trans women, and we all talk about trans women using women's spaces, but what about trans men? Why does nobody talk about that? And the answer is because men don't give a shit. You know? I was in a pub on what day was it? Tuesday, right? I was in a pub on Tuesday, and I was in the men's restroom, and the woman knocked on the door and just said, "The woman's toilet's got a big line. Do you mind if you come in?" Every single guy in that room went, "Yeah, it's fine." And she just went in, used the toilet, washed her hands, and left. Nobody cared, right? That was not even a trans man. That was a biological woman who desperately needed the toilet, and she asked, "Do you mind if I go and use the toilet?" The men in the room said, "Fine, whatever, we don't give a shit." She went and used the toilet, left, she didn't look at anyone, she didn't talk to anyone, you know? And my opinion should be that as a man, I don't have it's not my place to tell women what they can and can't. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, I'm a man. You know? I'm not gonna say what women are comfortable with because I'm not a woman. I don't have an issue with trans women using women's bathroom changing rooms, fair enough. Someone's going to be a pest, or worse. Banning trans people from the bathroom that makes the companies not going to prevent it, I agree. Also, most of the danger occurs to trans women being forced to use men's bathrooms, that's very true. And also, where do you draw the line? Like, you know, should men who have undergone full hormone and surgical treatment, who are now, you know, legally recognized as women, who are now socially women, and in many ways physical women, being forced to use the men's restroom? I don't know, because I'm not a woman. I see so many things online of men saying whether trans women should or should not be allowed in the women's only space, and you don't see a lot of like women being championed on their opinion of it. And most women I've talked to about it have said they're fine, at least in my location where I am, right? I'm not saying that all women in all of the world, in every location, is also fine with it. I'm saying the women that I have talked to, and it's fair to say that I probably have progressive friend groups and social groups because of my own identity and my own political beliefs. So I'm putting all of that in there. I'm making sure everybody's aware that I am not trying to say that these few women talk for all women. They don't have an issue. There are other women who I'm certain will have an issue with it because, you know, humanity is not monolithic. People are allowed their own opinions. I'm not going to speak for women. I'm just going to tell you what the few women I've talked to about it told me. As far as it just doesn't like, it's really hard to put yourself in the mindset of somebody who would commit that kind of crime if you're not that type of person, right? But I really thought about it once, and I was like, if I was going to do that, right? If I was going to, I'm trying to not say the words too much because I've said it a lot already in this stream and I might get pulled up on YouTube. If I was going to attack anyone, a man or a woman, in that manner, I don't think a toilet or a changing room is a very good place to do. Right? Because like when I go to, and I'm biologically a male. When I go to the toilet, I'm vigilant about the people around me. And I feel like most people find disrobing in any form to be, you know, very vulnerable, and naturally they are hyper vigilant. That would be that would be what I would think. So it would seem to me logically that trying to, you know, first go into a place where you obviously don't fit in unless you pass very well as a trans woman. I don't think that unless that's the case, that you know, everybody would already be staring at you and keeping an eye on you. And I just don't think it is. Whereas you can, you know, go to like the back alley where a pub is or whatever, and you can find some random person on their own and you can attack them there and you might get away with it. You shouldn't get away with it, and I hope to God if that ever happens to CCTV and you get nailed to the wall, so to speak. Because in a civilized society, that type of act has no place. But I just don't see how, you know, in a place where people are naturally on the defense, is a good place to attempt to commit crime. It's like when people try and rob banks, you know? It's like when I think of places, if I was going to go on a crime spree, which I mean I'm a cripple so I'm probably not, but if I was going to go on a crime spree, a bank, a place with some of the best security in the world, is not the first place I would think to rob. But yeah, that's where I stand as far as the actual position of women. But you still get people that do it. Oh, I'm not saying you won't, but I'm saying you'll get caught. You know, it's like saying, how can I say this without it sounding racist, right? There is a very small number of religious people of a certain religion who have been well known for committing acts of violence, right? And I'm sure you all know which religion I'm talking about. I personally believe that any human being should be respected and should be welcome unless that specific human being does something to make you not treat them in a way that is dignified and respectful. Right? But should we ban all of that group of people simply because, you know, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of 1% may wish to do harm to other people? You know, it's like how I view it, and I'm very logical and I am autistic and I will admit to those things. But to me, it seems, why should we punish an entire group for the actions of a handful of those people in that group? Doesn't matter what group you're talking about. You know, you've got, if you look at Christians, you have the IRA and the American guys with white bed sheets. Exactly, right? Like, so story time, guys. Completely well, very vaguely related. But over the road, like directly over the road in that direction, moved in a new family. They don't speak great English, and I thought I'd chat to one of them as we walked down the street the other day. And I found out they're Iranian, and I was like, all right. And we had a chat. They were great people, lovely. They invited me over for some chai tea if I ever was interested. I might actually do it at some point. But they were great. You know, they were very clearly Muslims. You know, they had, and I don't want to presume, but like, you know, they were very clearly, and they come from a Muslim country, and that's where they were lovely people, amazing people. You know, and I'm a Christian, and I think there are a lot of Christians who are not very good people. You know, as I was talking about my local Pride event, guess which group of people have megaphones outside of my local Pride event talking about sins and going to hell? That's right, it's white Christians. You know, people just like me, but not like me. Does that mean I should be banned from Pride? And I know that that's slightly extreme, but you get what I'm saying. But I've got this radical idea, guys. Right? I went to a new bar that opened up in town recently. I went to... Yeah, I'm not racist in the slightest. I don't care. Right? I do not care what religion you are. I do not care what colour you are. I do not care what profession you have. I don't care where you live. Right? None of that has any impact on you as a person. If you are disrespectful towards me, I will be disrespectful towards you. If you're nice to me, I will be nice to you. And I think that's the way the world should work, right? I was talking to a Russian on Reddit the other day. It makes no sense to you. I'm the same. I was talking to a Russian and they were like, "Oh, you're British." I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry." They said, "I'm sorry, I'm Russian," and I was like, "That's kind of fucked up." Like, you feel like you have to apologize for the place you was born, you know? And I'm like, in my country, the Tories have been in power for 14 years. And the Tories have done lots of things that I do not agree with. You know? But if somebody talks to me, they don't think, hey, this guy must support the Tories. Right? And I can understand why xenophobia exists, because humans evolved to be afraid of things they don't understand. Right? Us humans, and it's a defense mechanism. You saw an animal you'd never seen before out on the plains in Africa. Guess what? You'd stay the F away. You might watch it from a distance and like, what are you doing? Are you a predator? Can we eat you? Whatever. But you don't just go running headlong. You see a person. You see a person you've never seen before and you think, what? Like, I don't know you. You know, we are naturally distrustful of strangers. It's built into our DNA. It's natural. But as a civilized society, I think it's fair to say that we have outgrown the needs of our biology. Right? Like me, I have anxiety. I have anxiety about everything all the time. That is an evolutionary response. You know? That evolutionary response is to protect me. But in the modern day of high stress, high information, that led to me being anxious all of the time over what is essentially nothing. Right? That isn't the problem that we got is our biology. We have advanced so fast that our biology can't keep up. And the same is true for xenophobia, right? Like, our biology tells us we should distrust things that are not familiar. And I hate people say we should distrust people who are different. That's not true. We should distrust things that are not familiar, right? If you live in London, for instance, this stuff. Exactly, Mrs. Vehicle Chips, exactly. You know, but we distrust things that are not familiar to us. So if you live in London, you're surrounded by people of different colours, different creeds, different nationalities. You're a lot less likely to be racist than if you live in a small village like mine, where like practically everybody is white. Right? There's a reason that younger people who have been exposed more to a variety of cultures thanks to the internet are significantly less racist. Right? We're not less racist because we're younger. We're less racist because we have experienced more than the people who came before us thanks to the internet. You know? I can go on YouTube right now, and if I want to learn about Hinduism or Muslims, if I want to learn about Buddhism or veganism, you know, I want to learn about Indian culture, whatever it is, no matter what it is, I can go on the internet and learn about that. And a lot of us do, right? And we don't even do it on purpose. You know? One thing I love is what they call the YouTube channel I watch, and they just go to different countries and try street food. They talk to the locals, you know. They try the street food, and they talk about like what it's like to be in that country, all of that kind of stuff. And I enjoy that. I'm not watching that because I think, oh, I want to learn about, Chinese culture. I'm watching it because I'm like, let's see what crazy things you eat in China. But because that is so available to us as a young generation. When I say young generation, I'm talking like 30, like, 30s, 20s, like the generation that had internet connection from the like teenage years, in those formative years when we build a lot of our preconceptions. If you had access to the internet and you were talking to people from around the world, you are statistically less likely to be racist by a massive amount. So I'm a big fan of multiculturalism. I think that there is, no matter what group you take in the world, there are going to be bad people in that group. But there's no reason to hate all people in that group. This is just turned into a rant stream. I'm sorry, guys. I don't usually rant like this. Also learn about new things in a safe space, all trusted people. Exactly. Like when I was a kid, we had the local zoo. We had the local zoo bring exotic pets in, and they had like a bearded dragon and stick insects and things. And a bunch of the kids were scared of it. But they did it, it was like a once a term thing for it was like year 3. As a small, non-people related example, when I was a kid, your parents had a plant like growing massive beans. You buy the beans and pick ones that be down to look at it and open it while they were there. Exactly, right? And I think in this age we live in, the age of information, and unfortunately the age of disinformation, is like it is the best that history has ever been for humanity in a lot of ways. And like, let's ignore the past couple years. Like, we had such a long period of overall peace, and unfortunately one person decided to ruin that. Not gonna name names, but you all know who I mean. But like, we are so lucky to be alive in the time that we are. In most countries, we have adequate healthcare, we have adequate education, we have adequate housing standards, we have adequate food supply. In another 3 decades, we might not even have a functioning antibiotic left. So I think, and it's kind of, we might have rising sea levels and everything going terrible very soon. I'm talking about globally, Danny. Like, as a species, I'm not talking about Britain here, but I'm talking about as a species, we have never been as well off when it comes to welfare as we are now. And there are a lot of places in the world that still have a long place to go in welfare. Right? We have a lot of places. We have a lot of distance to go in many places when it comes to welfare. But generally speaking, there are less, as a percentage of total people, hungry people around the world. There are, there are less people who die of preventable illnesses than ever before as a percentage of total income. When was the last time you heard about a famine? When was the last time you watched the news and it was like, yeah, half of the continent is starving to death? Like, we just don't really hear about it anymore. And that's because on the grand scale, it's not happening anymore. There are some situations where some populations are unfortunately still malnourished and such, but it's so rare compared to, say, like the 70s. You know? And I just think a lot of us don't appreciate what we've got. You know, like, think about me, right? I'm sat here with a very good computer with multiple screens, a phone, a tablet, whatever. I can't work because I'm disabled. I'm not going to say I live in luxury because that would be a lie, but I live in comfort. Would that have been possible 100 years ago? You know? I don't know. I think it's... I think my generation is going to find it very difficult if we are not dealing with inequality and climate issues by the time we're in our like 40s, 50s. I think the world is going to struggle in a way we've probably not seen in a century, maybe even two, if we don't seriously start getting our act together on a lot of things. I think we're hooked. Yeah, pretty much. It's like a... Look at the COVID pandemic, right? The last time we had a pandemic, not talking about COVID, was Spanish flu, right? Which Spanish flu was probably started in Asia, but we call it Spanish flu because Spain were the only people who were willing to admit that there was a problem on the front lines in World War One. And all those troops came home from the war carrying that Spanish flu, as we call it. And a lot of people died. I mean, a lot of people. And do you know who died? The young people died. Right? There were two waves. The first wave killed off the people who were, you know, heavily disabled and heavily malnourished, and then the other people who died were the fit and healthy workers. What happened this time around? The world ground to a halt, yes, but not that many people died in comparison. That's the difference 100 years makes. And we all complain about COVID because it stole, you know, a generation's school life, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, but they're still alive. Is it just... I feel like I need to do a regular rant stream because I've got so much pent up crap. But I don't know. Hey guys, it stopped raining. Let's go. Honestly, my mum had the heating on yesterday. Yes. I know what you're trying to say. I also don't know what it's called. Cytoplasmic storm or something like that. But yeah. You know, this time around we did pretty well. If I could read, I would read so much stuff. I don't mean I literally can't read, I just mean ADHD and I'm not currently medicated for it because I'm on a medication break. Is I cannot even read something, you know, like really fun and interesting. Yeah. Well, we've been live for 2 hours and I'm feeling great. I have no idea how we got to this point in stream. You know, we were talking about Pride Month and then now we're talking about pandemics. I don't even know. I don't even know. How's everybody doing in game, if you're in game? How's everybody's games going? Rapidly changing subject. How about I've tried, I just can't concentrate. I need that visual input. I have been watching what are they called? Video essays and such. Like if I'm actually going to pay attention to something, I either need to be like distracted enough where like I'm doing now, I'm listening to it, talking to you guys playing multiple games. I need to be able to completely zone into it. Yeah, video essays are great. I basically just ranted a video essay on stream, to be fair. I should genuinely like rant on video someday and just put them on YouTube. It's like, yeah, this is Spec ranting and John. It's just like 12 hours of Spec complaining about everything. I'm in my complaining era apparently. You seen Ancient Aliens? I need more, what's the word I'm looking for? I need more information than that. Like, is it YouTube? Is it a show? Like, whatever. It seems kind of, like, I like, it sounds very, what's the word? You know, pyramids for landing ships for landing spaces for spaceships. I'm not into that. Oh, History Channel, yeah, get fucked. Not you, the History Channel. History Channel should be renamed to whatever the fuck we fought up with when we were all stoned. History Channel was like, we got bored of talking about history, so we all took LSD and started writing, and yeah, this is what we made. Enjoy. I don't even have a television, Dan. I don't even have a TV. I haven't had one in, well, 8 years. I have a lot of displays, none of them capable of receiving any form of television transmission. Yeah, in front, what have I got? I've got 4, 5, 6, 7, I've got 9 displays in front of me right now. Not all of them are turned on. I've got 4 monitors, a tablet, 3 phones, and a laptop in front of me right now. I know, right? Red, well, you missed all the rants, Red. I've been ranting for about an hour. But welcome. How you doing? How's life? Tell me all about it. You know, I don't need a TV. And I'm gonna be adding another monitor to my setup when I finish stream. About what? Everything. We started ranting about LGBT pride. You know, pride events and how they do it in America. We ended up ranting about the fact that, like, we're ungrateful. We talked about Spanish flu and COVID. We talked about Islamophobia. Yeah, we just kind of went completely off the rails for about an hour. Not gonna lie, completely off the rails. What's his name? The guy who wrote Phineas and Ferb, his brother just got over cancer. Can't think of it's Hank Green's brother. What's it called? Red, help me out. Somebody help me out. I can't think of his name. I can't bother googling it. John Green. Yeah. John Green. He's going to be. I don't know if anybody been following him. He's technically retired, but he's planning to write a giant book about about TB. And I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, Mr. Biff. I just think it's incredible that I've got this, right? This is a Samsung S9, an old phone. I don't use it because, well, it's an old phone. But it's just live, you know? Like, it's a ridiculously powerful computer with a very good display, and it just sits there doing nothing. And it's like, what? I've got a giant bruise on my foot and I don't know where to sell it. But why? It's not worth very much. Next nine's worth like 30, 40 quid. It's not worth the effort of selling. This is what I mean, is we live in such a crazy time when you can have what, you know, would have been a supercomputer a few decades ago, just sitting on desk like it's worth 30 quid, whatever. Yeah, like X9's are old as shit, that's right. Nice, Red, nice. Living a throwaway society, exactly. Yeah, so I use two phones. And one of them, you know, one of them is now like 6 years old. It's fine. I still use it regularly. Yeah, honestly, the way we treat clothing is atrocious. I actually read a thing about fast fashion in America. This is going to blow your mind. The average item of clothing in America is worn 9 times before being thrown away. 9 times. I don't know what it is for the UK, but it might not be much better. I know, right? No, the crazy thing is, the more expensive the item of clothing, the less times it's worn before being thrown away. A $10 t-shirt might be worn 100 times before being thrown away, but like a $400 dress might be worn twice. That's the insane part. The crazy part is, I mean, it is crazy that the average item of clothing in America is worn 9 times. before being thrown away. That's already pretty crazy. But when you think about it, it's inverse, right? Cheaper clothes are worn more frequently and are worn over and are kept for long periods of time. And part of that is just because people who buy $10 t-shirts can't afford to be buying lots of clothes. And part of it is just the throwaway culture. Yeah, but would you wear it twice and then throw it away? I keep clothes for it. I keep clothes until they get like holes in them, and then I recycle them. Now you won't buy it. Me neither. Me neither. Like, if I won the lottery, if I won Euro Millions and I won like 100 million, I'd still, you know, buy the same clothes I buy now. I just can't imagine going to it. I once spent like £65 on a jacket on offer, and I was like, this is so expensive. I was working at the time and the students, so I had a lot of cash. And I mean, I've still got that jacket, I still wear it. We're talking, I've had it for 6 years now. No, 7 years. So I've definitely got my money's worth out of it. But can you imagine? Like I was in some of the clothes in the shop I was in were like £400, £500, £600 for a jacket, and I was just like, that is true. A decent jacket is essential. Yeah, it's a nice bomber jacket. It's starting to need to be replaced, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's starting to need to be replaced. It's showing its age, but I've had it a long time. Definitely got money's worth out of it. Yeah, I think there are some things that are worth paying more for. I still don't think like multiple hundreds of pounds for an item of clothing makes sense, but like 40 to 60 quid for something you expect to last multiple years. Like my boots that I wear were like 40 quid, right? My walking boots. I've had them for 5 years. They're still going strong, they're still great. You know? Like in that, like there are some things that it makes sense to spend more money on, right? Like my boots, they have Gore-Tex in them, so they are completely waterproof, and unless they get stabbed, they will always be waterproof. Right? Like there are some things that just make sense to spend extra money on. It's like you can buy a pair of boots for like 20 quid, but they'll last a year or something. I've done it many times, like false economy. I've been buying like, I used to get a new pair of boots every year for my birthday off my mum, because she'd buy cheap boots. And I was just sick of it. I was sick of every year having to break in new boots, so I bought some expensive walking boots. I've had them 4 or 5 years now. You know, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you should always buy the cheapest option. I'm saying buy the option that makes sense. No, a good one is it. See, I don't like Max stuff and whatnot. I just like good old fashioned walking boots. I don't wear trainers. Yeah, I watched funnily enough, a video essay about high quality leather work boots. Really, a very, a very specific video essay, right? And they were talking about this guy who bought boots for like $600 in America, and he wore them every day, 6 days a week, working construction. And he's had them resold about 6 times, and he's had them about a decade. And I'm like, that makes sense, you know? Although, if I wanted to get boots resold, I don't even know if I could. I don't know anyone nearby that resold boots, you know? Prime at once before they were the first time. People would have been. Yeah, no, I mean like locally. Like I'm pretty sure if I went on Google and searched, you know, company that puts new soles on boots, I could find one I could mail my boots to and they'd do it. Right? I'm pretty sure it would be very easy to find a company where I mail them my boots and they make them look as close to new as possible. I'm sure it exists. But I just meant like back in the day, every town and village used to have a cobbler. You know, it was like, it was just a fact of life somewhere on the high street. We got Timpsons now, they don't resell boots, but they do buff them and make them look all new and stuff, so it's kind of not quite. You know, only that to have backup, exactly. I do like what the EU's doing with right to repair laws, though, I have to admit, like, good on the EU. Yeah, I know. I have. I've watched many documentaries on clothes, electronics, all of the throwaway stuff we have these days. Like, what do people think these clothes were? Like, this t-shirt is 100% cotton. Most t-shirts these days are either made of nylon or some percentage of nylon, right? That nylon is plastic. It will never break down. Or at least, you know, not within quite a few generations. What do people think happens to all these clothes exactly? There's a company in my town who buys clothes by weight and they shred them and make insulation. It's pretty cool actually. Yeah. It just. And then when you hear stats like the average iPhone clothing in America is worn 9 times before being thrown away, and you're like, now I understand where all these clothes come from. Because to me, like everyone in my family, like I'm working class, you know, we grew up. My dad's a farmer, doesn't have the best income. You know, my mum's disabled, couldn't work, whatever. It's like we grew up just wearing clothes as long as they lasted, and clothes got handed down. You know, me and my brothers are 2 years apart. Either way, so clothes got handed down, shoes got handed down. You know, we didn't always get to have new stuff. It was just the fact of life. Are clothes cheaper in America? Probably not. Probably. You know, like when you think about how cheap, like this t-shirt I'm wearing is technically a blank. It's meant to be printed on, but I bought 5 of these t-shirts for about £12. I imagine clothes are going to be cheaper and much cheaper than that in America. Like if you're really trying to buy cheap clothes, I'm talking about. But I love these Gildan blanks. They're great. You get them in loads of colours. They last ages. I can't imagine clothes being much cheaper than like cheap clothes here. If anything, I think the average item of clothing sold in America is probably more expensive because people just have more income on average in America. GDP per capita is higher. So, you know, inflationary effects hit from just people having more money. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it. I will still be in game. No worries, Danny. We're still listening to do a podcast maybe someday. I'm going to go and make some food myself and then I will be back in game. So guys, Danny, Mr. Biffle Chips, Ribsy, Red, and something. Thank you all for hanging out. I have very much appreciated it. Have a good day, night, morning, afternoon, or evening. Whether you're watching this live as a video on YouTube, guys, have yourselves, stay safe, and last